Kyrie Irving will be available for home games.
Oh, God.
Due to concern over his vaccine status, according to a report, sources told ESPN that Irving's decision to get vaccinated remains unclear for this season, and the team hasn't made a decision regarding the status of him as a part-time player if he doesn't get vaccinated. And according to the report, they were optimistic he would get vaccinated, but, quote, hope is waning. And they will have to consider the possibility he's not going to be available for the foreseeable future.
Lord.
The NBA said last month players who are unable to attend games because of local mandates will not be paid for the games that they miss.
Shouldn't be.
Now, that would apply to New York and to the Bay, to San Francisco. Toronto has a national interest exception that the Raptors GM just announced. So those players have to test negative, and then they have to be basically quarantined to the team hotel and the arena when they are in town. So he would be able to potentially play in Toronto if everything stays the way it is now. But he would obviously not be paid for home games. And aside from the pay, which only really pertains to Kyrie Irving and none of the rest of us, he will not be able to play in those games.
It's insane. I mean, it's a team sport. I'm sorry. This is not skiing or tennis. You can make your own decisions. You don't affect hundreds of other people, and it just drives me nuts. Joy with the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
The Herd Live.
If it's raining out, it's very professional.
Well, we went over this yesterday. I'm a very expressive person.
There you go.
Kyler Murray is having a phenomenal season and is leading the talks for MVP. According to Fox Bet, he's the current favorite at plus 550, followed by Patrick Mahomes, plus 600, Josh Allen, plus 650, Tom Brady, plus 800, and Aaron Rodgers, Justin Herbert, and Dak Prescott at plus 1,000.
Dak's undervalued there.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I believe so
Dak's
as well.
the best. To me, Dak's the best bet.
I had Josh Allen going into the season.
Yeah, and he has a chance. He's going to light up Kansas City this weekend, despite what Nick Wright thinks. Oh, I think Buffalo's going to wipe him out.
Light up?
I think Buffalo is the best team in the league right now by a couple
Kansas
touchdowns.
City?
Oh, I think it's irrelevant. Justin Herbert beat him there. The Chargers aren't as good as Buffalo.
I don't know if I'm ready to go light up yet, but their defense has been playing like for as many points as Buffalo's been putting up. You have to get their defense some credit as well. But Kyler Murray is 4-0 and it has a 76.1 completion percentage, 9 passing touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 109 rushing yards, and 3 rushing touchdowns. And that is quite improved from last year, his completion percentage at least. And Mahomes obviously has the second best odds. He has 1,218 passing yards, 14 passing touchdowns, 92 rushing yards, and 1 rushing touchdown. But Kyler Murray's team is playing better, which accounts a lot for what happens with the MVP race.
They are playing better, but a lot of it's that.
Yes, which is Kyler Murray.
Cliff Kingsbury, fired in college, now leads the toughest division. A lot of it is Kyler Murray. It's amazing the coaches we now think are dummies and are geniuses. It's amazing. All the ones that are geniuses now, they all have a quarterback who just makes plays.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I think we're kind of measured with that, and I think that maybe Cliff Kingsbury gets a little too much heat for not being a good coach. It's not like they had a bad season last year.
No, that's fair. I mean, I will say this. Kyler's gotten better every year.
Yeah.
Kyler doesn't get all the credit for it.
And the team has gotten better every year.
Yeah,
which is all you can ask for from a coach. Now, they host the 49ers on Sunday. This is an interesting weekend for that division because you have the Seahawks and the Rams tomorrow night.
By the way, that's on Fox. That is maybe the best Thursday night game that's ever been played.
It's incredible.
I mean, it's going to be Seattle now is in real trouble.
Yeah.
They can go 2-3. The Rams coming off an awful performance, like a really bad performance. That is as good a football game on a Thursday night.
Yeah, it's must watch. But that's a divisional game, and then the Cardinals play the 49ers on Sunday. So this is a really big weekend for that division, and the Cardinals are favored by 5.5, according to Fox Bet. So those are 2 games that are going to have a lot of influence on the rest of the season moving forward.
I'm just going to say that. I'm going to throw this out there. I do not want to step on the toes of the marketing people at this company. But if we are not advertising Thursday's game as the greatest Thursday night game in the history of the league, then I think we're missing the mark. Does everybody understand how many stars are on Thursday? How big that game is?
I just think it's an incredibly important game, aside from all the stars.
Remember when we used to get on Thursday night, like 6 years ago, you'd get a team from Spain and the Jacksonville Jaguars in their 18th uniform, and it was like we wouldn't even talk about it the next day. Now the games are divisional rivals playing the most important game of the season. The Thursday night games 5 years ago were, honestly.
It's almost like we're smart people when we figure it out.
Yeah.
I had anything to do with that. I'm just taking credit for it. So Monday brought word that the Washington football team's head athletic trainer, Ryan Vermillion, has been placed on administrative leave due to an ongoing criminal investigation unrelated to the team. Ron Rivera's first 2 years at the organization have seen its share of off-the-field issues, and Rivera was asked what he would say to people that say there's a black cloud over the team.
Well, that's what we're trying to correct. That's what we're trying to fix. But for whatever reason, we just keep getting drawn back into things. So, guys, at the end of the day, we're going to let this play out, and we'll trust in the system, and we'll go from there.
Now, look, this is completely unrelated
to
Ron Rivera and to football, which is why he said, we'll let the system figure it out. But there are certain teams in certain leagues that just seem to always have something going on.
Yeah.
And I think Ron Rivera was a great hire for this reason, because Ron is a guy that is very well respected. Yeah. And you saw it last year that he came in, and we were saying, like, he's really changed the energy up with that organization. For an organization that has an owner that has had habitual issues in many spaces, he really has changed the branding of it. But obviously that also was reflected on the field.
Right.
This year, they seem to have taken a step back, specifically with the defensive side of the ball. They are ranked 29th in total defense, 30th in scoring defense, and 29th in pass defense. Last season, second in total defense, fourth in scoring defense, and second in pass defense. So there's something going on with that defense. Right. I mean, that is a dramatic change. It can't be more dramatic than
They're
that.
not real good at corner. I watched the Washington-Atlanta game, and my takeaway is, Joy, is it's not right. That you cannot give up. That game shouldn't be competitive. No. It's weird. Your offense, this is a weird, I don't have time for it now because I got to get to Nick Wright and tell him how Kansas City's going to get drubbed this weekend. But great defenses, unless you have like a Seattle or Baltimore where you have like 9 Hall of Fame like guys, it's weird in the NFL. Defenses can go from really good to, like Tampa this year. You're like, what's wrong with the defense? Offenses, a good offense this year is going to be a good offense next year because it's mostly driven by a play caller, an O-line, and a quarterback. But defenses are weird. Like I've seen really good defense. Where did they go?
But you can also lose physicality. Like 1 year of getting older can be a massive difference for a unit, like an offensive line or an entire defense when